Hello, my name's Bibiana. I am talking to you today about being against medical marijuana. This is for Issues of Contemporary Nursing Practice class, fall 2015 at James Madison University. Marijuana contains over 400 chemical compounds. More than 80 cannabinoids are unique to the cannabis plant. The issue is whether or not these cannabinoids are medically useful for human ailments. There is research that shows that they may be useful when attached to CB1 and CB2 receptors in the body. Delta-9 tetrahydrocannabinol is responsible for the mood-altering effects of marijuana. Cannabinol and cannabidiol have less psychoactive effects. These have been isolated and studied since 1964, have been used as liquid form to treat a variety of ailments such as seizures. There's a lot of ethical debate regarding its recreational use versus its medicinal use, whether it is more beneficial or more harmful to use. Also, there's more needed laboratory research and pharmacologic standard application. There's controversy regarding its federal ban versus its state allowed status. The use of medical marijuana has been referenced in the 15th century China, where Chinese Emperor Shang Nan is known to have prescribed it, and from there it went to India, Egypt, Persia, Syria, Greece, and Rome. From 1840 to 1900, more than 100 written articles on marijuana use in medicine for pain relief, vomiting, convulsions, and spasticity have been documented. American physicians prescribed it from mid-19th century to the 1930s until its restriction, and it was received official legitimacy by its being enlisted in the U.S. dispensator. The problem is significant due to its, although there is documentation for its therapeutic effectiveness, there is less information available for other uses in medicine. There's a questionable margin of safeness as it is a Scheduled I controlled substance. There's nationwide debate over its legalization, complicated federal approval process, and there are state-to-state regulations that differ and inconsistencies that do appear. There's more needed research for optimal dosing. There's a big addiction potential because of its already endemic recreational use. And the UN estimated that up to 190 million people consumed cannabis in 2007, making it the most widely used illicit drug in the world. Under the influence, people experience mild euphoria, relaxation, and perceptual alterations. Studies have shown significant overlap between medical users and recreational users. The high for one class of users could be the acute toxic effect for another because of variable absorption, thus achieving unpredictable results. And as a nurse, we may care for someone who's legally smoking it or illegally smoking it or using it, so it does affect us. The American Nurses Association Code of Ethics for Nurses supports safe access to therapeutic marijuana for patients. They also support the education of RNs regarding evidence-based therapeutic use. They support protection from criminal or civil penalties for patients using medical marijuana, abiding by state laws. They support exemptions from criminal prosecution, civil liability, or professional sanctioning in accordance with state law. They support reclassifying marijuana Schedule I controlled substance status to a lesser restrictive category. They support confirmation regarding therapeutic effectiveness of marijuana, investigative research such as controlled trials. The ANA supports the nurses' ethical obligation to be advocates for access to healthcare for all, including patients that need cannabis for therapeutic use. Efforts to solve the problem to keep it illegal stem back to 1937. The Marijuana Tax Act prohibited its use. In 1951, Congress passed a law that classified it as a narcotic. In 1970, the Controlled Substances Act prohibited all therapeutic medicinal use by making it a Schedule I. And in 2005, the U.S. Supreme Court ruled 6-3 that the federal government has the power to arrest and prosecute patients and their suppliers to regulate interstate commerce on illegal drugs. To date, there are 4 pharmaceutical cannabinoids that are available on the market, such as dronabinol or Marinol, and nabinolone or Sesamet in the USA since 1985, nabiximols in Canada since 2005, and Renomanet in Europe since 2006. The last has not been approved in the United States due to its increased risk of depression and suicidal behavior. The FDA still has it as a Schedule I drug, a category reserved for street drugs with high abuse potential, such as heroin. California became the first American state to legalize it in 1996, along with 16 other states that have joined since then, plus the District of Columbia. They permit it for botanically grown cannabis used for certain chronically or critically ill patients. About 15 more states are considering making it legal. The American Medical Association, the Institute of Medicine, and the American College of Physicians have called for reclassification of cannabis as a Schedule II controlled substance to increase its research. And there's no U.S. federal warning label for marijuana because the federal government still considers marijuana as an illegal substance. This is it for Part 1. My partner, Carrie Ann Leatherland, will have Part 2. Thank you for listening.